Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. Going to cover some amazing stuff. Getting a couple things organized here and getting Faraz on. So while you guys join, stand by. Give me just a few moments to get him in here. It's going to be a powerful interview. Uh, on today's call, you're going to learn how to transform your life in a powerful way, just like Faraz did, and so many other men. Going from for Faraz, it was kind of this experience of being caught up in unworthiness, caught up in confusion, caught up in doubt and fear and stress and anxiety. And he can do a better job of describing his experience than I can. But what you're going to learn essentially as you tune into this conversation is how to shift from that place of procrastination and overwhelm and doubt, stress, anxiety, self-doubt, upper limits, all those types of things, how to overcome all those things to free up your energy and channel it towards your passion, your purpose, your zone of genius, and thrive in all aspects of life. But Faraz, the biggest thing that has happened for him has been, I believe, around his business. We'll get more clarity from him directly as we get him in here soon. So that's why I'm here today, to share that in hopes that it blesses your life. And a little bit about me, if you're not familiar with me, I have been an entrepreneur for 30 years now. I have been a coach and consultant for about 19 years now, and I have helped about a dozen people get rise to the level of doing like $10 million a month. I've helped hundreds of people transform their relationships, come to a place of inner power and clarity and peace and joy and thriving in their health, their relationships, their spirituality, their finances. And then there's been thousands of other people that I've impacted on smaller levels. So I've learned a lot. I've succeeded a lot. I've failed a lot. I've struggled a lot. I've won a lot. And I'm thriving more than ever in the most, and a little context right now. I feel like I don't look my best. I'm down in Costa Rica. I'm having an amazing time. And I'm at a restaurant. And it's hot and sweaty out here, like in an outdoor setting. It's hot right now. So give you a little context there. Just following a couple of notes here to help me keep on track. Otherwise, I tend to go down too many rabbit holes. So it's going to be a powerful call. And one of the things that we worked with the most that has created the biggest shift in Faraz's life, besides like we surround him with other powerful men, we create a group of support and accountability where we lift each other up. And it's the most powerful group of men I've ever worked with. It's the most powerful program I've ever curated after a long time in the industry, before there was an industry. And one of the things that has made the biggest shift for all of us in my men's groups is the masculine rites of passage. I'm talking about the warrior rite of passage, the divine love rite of passage, the alchemist rite of passage, and the king rite of passage. And what I've found after years and years of doing things like, Spartan races and CrossFit and training with Navy SEALs and doing a 65-day juice fast and breathing through a snorkel in ice cold water for 2 hours until I was, comfortable. I wanted to be able to pass down the transformation that happened for me in my life through those masculine rites of passage that I went through, amongst many others. But that's hard to do. It's hard to inspire people to want to do those hard things that take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money. And so I was so excited and elated when I discovered I could pass those down simply through very specific ancient meditation techniques and practices that is delivering the same benefits as all that hard shit I did for decades in a matter of months for men. And so I wanted to bring Faraz on, tell you a little bit about him, and so that we can discuss who he is, what he's been up to. Faraz, welcome to the call, and as well as what's happened for Faraz since joining the Wolfpack and this amazing group of men where we lift each other up and share everything to help each other success. So we're sharing principles and techniques and strategies and resources and connections and networks and books and podcasts and everything it takes, just whatever we can bring to the table to elevate the level of consciousness and to help a man create the highest level of success in his health, his relationships, his spirituality, and his finances. So Faraz, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you, Chris. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. How about me?
Okay. I can hear you perfect. Yeah.
Beautiful. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here. It's a Friday, so I'm excited, but I'm an entrepreneur, so every day is quite similar. You knock out tasks, you get it done, get the meditations done, get in state, get your work done, and then take care of your body as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Faraz, for setting aside the time to help me. Obviously, this helps show the world what I'm up to and the brilliant changes that I'm helping people make, but it also helps the viewer because we're all about win, 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 right? Wolfpack, we're not just win, win, we're win, win, win. So how does each of us win here? I win because I get viewers to see live social proof of the transformation that's taking place in men's lives every day in the Wolfpack. You win because you get exposure in the market, and I want the market to know. I want the viewers to see who you are, the type of man you are, the level of integrity that you have, and the product and services that you're offering, so that we can also further your success even in this call. And then for the viewer, not only getting to know Faraz, which he'll be a blessing in your life, just a phenomenal man. And these are the type of men, just the best men in the world. We don't bring in the men that are disconnected and don't care about others, but we also don't bring in the men that are stuck and playing small, right? So we're playing with men that are showing up in a good way, creating big things, and leading from the heart with integrity. So for the viewer, for you, my intent is that you are deeply inspired, that you gain a lot of insight on how to create your own success in all those ways. And then for those of you that are ready, powerful opportunity to reach out, ask questions, because if you're ready to go, be surrounded by amazing men, be vastly supported, get all the skill sets, mindsets, knowledge, resources you need to thrive in every aspect of your life, this is an opportunity to do that. So let me go back to my notes. Again, I tend to easily get off track, and we'll go for hours if we do that, and we don't have hours. So Faraz, if you can tell the clients a little bit about who you are, what you're up to, and what you're most passionate about.
Totally. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur we sell hair wellness products to mainly to women and also to men, but also products to reverse gray hair. I used to be a consultant for many, many years in corporate America, and I decided to pursue an entrepreneurial journey for myself, and to become, the chief of my kingdom, so to speak, and to take power into my life. And that was a journey that I did not take lightly. It took me many, many months, even a couple of years of just deliberating and thinking and doubting myself over and over that, could I do it? Am I worthy enough to do this? And thankfully, I finally took the plunge. And I want to say that after taking the plunge, I realized how business is so different than corporate America and corporate life. And it was so much harder than I ever thought it was going to be.
Yep.
And I had to look deep within myself and uncover the darkest and deepest parts of me that I did not want to look at. And
Yeah.
that was the gift that I got to this process. And I'm so blessed that I met Chris and I'm part of the Wolf Pack, because just being around what Chris has done and all the achievements he's had and all the things he's been through, it's so cool, because when I bring questions to Chris, and he has the answers, the resources, the podcast, the tools. So I love being in this group because it allows me to rapidly move forward with whatever's, in business. There's a new thing every single day. And for the past 2 years, I have been, every time I would get a negative news, it would just hit me like a truck. And I would go, oh my God, my business is going to fail again, right? And it's just over and over and over and over. Just so much self doubt and worthiness issues would come up because you would tie your self worth to the how the business is doing in the market. And so when I would have challenges, I would just, it would come back to me that I'm not good enough and I'm not good. And if I had this skill or that skill or this belief, and I was just, spinning around. And when I joined the wolf pack, I think the practices, one, seeing other men, seeing what Chris brings to the table, seeing what Matt brings to the table, and other men as well in the wolf pack, powerful men that are going through similar challenges, and it gives you a perspective on how life is and how we can grow despite all of our challenges, and how a support network is so 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 important for a man that wants to be sovereign in his life and wants to take the power and be empowered within himself. And so that's what I'm doing is Chris is helping me not only become fully inhabiting my body as a sovereign man, going through the rites of passage, but also improving my business. And when I'm facing these darkest parts of myself, I am learning to love myself again. And I'm learning to be a warrior. And the meditations that I've been doing that Chris has asked us to do, I now finally believe in myself for the first time. I trust myself. I believe in myself. And it's such a shift because it's the tiny voice inside you that says, you got this. And I didn't have that
Yeah.
because before, because I was so reactive to the world and to life. And I'm like, oh, this happened. Oh, I got to react. Oh, this happened. And I was not grounded at all in myself and who I am. And so the power and the clarity that I've gotten with working with Chris and being a part of the Wolf Pack is unparalleled. I recommend every man to join this, even though that means I get less time with Chris. But this is such a powerful group that I can't recommend this enough. And so my goals are to use what I'm learning in the Wolf Pack to not only get to know myself better, to become fully integrated, to become empowered, but also take my business to heights that I've only dreamed of in the past.
Thank you so much for all of that, Faraz. Um, so when you talk about the self-love piece, what does that yield for you? You've talked about you have confidence, you believe in yourself, you know you've got it, and that's huge. That shift alone changes everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, but in relation also to the different tools and practices and everything you're implementing, what would you say were the pain points prior? Like, was it stress? Was it anxiety? Was it doubt? Was it procrastination? Was it confusion? Was it overwhelm? What were the main things that were hard before?
Everything. All my life, Chris, I have felt less than. I felt like I am not exactly perfectly detail oriented. I'm not a technician. Therefore, I'm going to not succeed because only the people that know and that are very, very, very detail oriented will succeed at tasks, which was the wrong perspective to have in life. But so I had self doubt throughout my life, and being around people that are very detail oriented gives you that perspective on, oh, they're doing this task better. But I also miss the fact that the vision is what I bring to the table, and the ideas that I bring to the table are really, really interesting, and they can really move the needle for me. So, in terms of all the blockages that were holding me back, self doubt was a big one, worthiness, not being good enough, and then just incidents in the past in my childhood where I had trauma or wounds where I was maybe overlooked or not loved enough that caused me to cement that belief in my body that I am not worthy of the best that this life and love have to offer. And so that was a huge one for me. And so slowly, as I'm working through all of these changes and the resources, the books, the podcasts, and the meditations that we're doing, I'm overcoming all of those one by one. And it's not even that it just happened one day, it's a subtle shift that I'm starting to notice in myself. And that makes all the difference because now when I wake up, I'm like, okay, I have 50 things to do, nothing new there. And something should hit the fan today. Okay, nothing new there. And so just being able to absorb those body blows that would wreck me for a day in the past, it's like it just rolls off and I'm like, okay, cool, let's handle it. Not a
So
big deal.
instead of being wrecked for a day and then creating out of scarcity and doubt and fear and survival, it just comes and goes like Neo dodging a bullet in the
Yes.
Matrix, and you're still centered and empowered with inspiration and clarity,
Yes.
and you're taking massive action and channeling all that energy towards what you know needs to get done, which actually means you get 10 or 100 times more done, depending on how bad it was and how good it is at the time. So, like, way more done, way
Yeah.
faster, way easier. And then, are you at peace and are you actually enjoying the process more?
Yes, I'm totally at peace. I think I come back to the thing you say in the wolf pack quite often, Chris, is like taking action without taking uninspired action is like having sex with your clothes on. And so that is true for me. Now I get these little nudges from inside, and I'm like, I need to go work on that. And so I make that a priority, and I work on the tasks that I get from inspiration. And so I'm getting more done. I'm making progress in the most critical areas of my business, and I'm not wasting time just thinking about how I'm not good enough and whatnot. So I'm creating from power. I'm creating from clarity. I'm creating from inspired action, and I am just satisfied at the end of the day. All the things I'm doing. There's a lot to be done. I acknowledge that, but I'm doing them in the right order, and I'm satisfied. And I know for sure that I'm gonna do really well.
Yes, it's very, very clear at this point that you have what it takes. You know, most people where they fell in business is they get caught up in those things you were caught up in and they don't know how to get out of them. And so
Yes.
they struggle and they stress and they strain and they hustle and they grind and then they quit and they go back and get a job or they go broke
Yes.
or they burn out and give up and try something else. And so just that alone to be able to know, nope, I'm there. And you've already got so much experience, done so much work, established a brand, have the funnels and the marketing and all the things, and you're constantly improving those. And once you and there's a principle that's true. It's just like if you planted a tomato seed and you gave it everything that it needed, everything, and protected it from everything it needed to protect it from, every single time it will become a tomato plant with a whole bunch of tomatoes full of a whole bunch of tomato seeds, and the yield is that grand in life as we align with the principles that govern success in our health, our relationships, our spirituality, our finances. And so I absolutely know, because I've watched it for decades as I've helped men through this. Once you reach the point you're at, it's inevitable that you will succeed.
Yes.
You just stay the course, you keep doing the work, you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep integrating, you keep expanding. And okay, okay. She's gonna move my table. She needs to give this table to someone else. But we'll keep rolling here. Um, so that's inevitable. And you're welcome, gladly. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful vistas, Chris.
It does not suck here.
No, not at all.
So the only spot available for me is in the sun. So we're gonna see what we can do here. I might have to hold my computer so I don't have to sit in the sun. So so super excited about that. But can you tell us a little bit about how the impact it's had on the other areas of your life? So health, relationships, spirituality. When I talk spirituality, a lot of people might be like, I'm not interested in spirituality. But the reason why it's important is like the level of clarity, the level of purpose, the level of fulfillment, the level of inspiration. That changes everything in your life when you're not just the surface level guy chasing the material things. It amplifies and actually speeds your success tremendously and fortifies it tremendously in those ways. So, in relation to those aspects, relationships, health, and spirituality, what are you experiencing?
Totally, totally. I have always been good with my health, but even so, going through the program, I've committed to doing certain aspects of the warrior rite of passage, and that includes taking care of your body. So I have been doing daily workouts. I have been taking walks. I have been eating good foods. I've been avoiding sometimes once a week. I would go get some cheat meals from the store. I've stopped doing that, And so my health is getting better and better every single day, even though it was good to start. In terms of relationships, I've gotten so much closer to my family over the last year. And again, living that frazzled life in the past, I was just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to reach out to these people, I'm so busy, busy, busy. I don't have time to call my family or my parents or my sisters or whoever else that's close to me. And now I make time for them. I'm always present for them. I'm talking to them every couple of times a week. I've never been closer to them. Actually, my parents came to visit me recently, and we had such a great time hanging out for a few months. So relationships are very, very strong. In terms of spirituality, yeah, some of the techniques we've been going in the Wolf Pack, reading some of Michael Singer's books as well, and like learning about all the sanskaras that I've had in the past and overcoming those and finding deeper joy and finding deeper purpose and fulfillment in even the day-to-day tasks has been such a game changer because now I'm starting to see the veils lifting. It's not just me responding or reacting to things that are happening in life. It's me also being in my power and creating and choosing the life of my choosing that I want to go create. And so, like, the ship is kind of shifting direction and is going in a different way as opposed to just reacting to what's life is throwing at me. So I am fulfilled, more fulfilled than I have been ever in my life, I would say. And I am super excited for what's to come in the future.
Beautiful. What advice, Faraz, would you have for other men like you? So they're entrepreneurial. Maybe they're married with kids. Maybe they're not. But they're just good men who value relationships, who lead with a heart, but they choose to thrive in all areas of life, and they choose to be good people. They choose to add value. They choose to live a deep, meaningful, fulfilling life, and to thrive in all those four areas. To be as aligned with their passion, their purpose, their zone of genius as they can, and to be the best father, husband, business owner, person they can be, and to have the optimal health, the optimal relationships, the optimal finances, and all the things. These men with substance. What would your advice be to them? Like, what are some key tidbits that you picked up along the way on your own journey since being in the Wolf Pack? What would you say to them?
I think the number one thing that comes to me, Chris, to answer that question is that the environment is so powerful. The environment around you, the people that are advising you, your closest friends, have an inordinate amount of, I would say, they can guide or shape the way you view the world. And so it's very, very important to get in groups of men that are aligned, that are integrous, that are moving forward in all aspects of their life. So the biggest advice I would have is surround yourself with men like the wolf pack that we have, that guide you, that check you, that ask you questions, that make sure you're not going down the right path, that challenge you to grow in all areas, the four areas. And that comes with constant reminders. At least for myself, it's not very obvious that these are the best paths or the best ways to do it. And I was doing this for the last 10 years, reading self-help books but not implementing anything. And so you can really get lost in thinking that you're making progress, but you're not really making progress. And so that, with a coach and some feedback, it makes a huge difference, a mountain of difference in how fast you can achieve your goals. So that is the number one thing. And number two, I think over time, as you get quieter in your life, as you start to get quieter, that inner voice has a chance to speak up, and it has a chance to guide you. And for the longest time, I was living this frazzled, stress filled life, and I didn't listen to myself. I didn't believe in myself. I was just trying to prove myself to others. And once you start to get to the seat or the center of who you really are, life starts to change, and you come to life with more purpose, with more clarity, and you trust yourself a whole lot more. So, again, some of these meditative practices that we've been doing will go a long way in helping you find yourself and become centered and grounded in yourself. But over that, even, you need a strong group of men that are also on the same journey so they can hold you accountable.
As well as understanding, if you don't come to understand the principles that govern success, a lot of people chase strategies, and they join all these masterminds and strategy. How do you do your marketing? How do you do your funnel? But if you don't, you obviously you got to address marketing and sales and funnel and all the aspects of business. That's obvious. But if you don't address the inner stuff and you don't surround yourself with the right people and the various other things, you don't have the right habits, you're not tracking the right metrics. Um, it's just way more hard and long than it needs to be.
Hmm.
So just want to accentuate that in addition to all the tremendous wisdom you shared. So we'll wrap in a moment here, but if you were to put yourself into the head of the viewers that are watching this now, and they've watched this podcast, we're having some internet difficulties here, so hopefully we're still coming through. Are you still hearing me, Faraz?
I can hear you. You cut out for a little bit, but I can hear you. If you don't mind repeating what you said, that'd be great.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you fine. Yes.
I was over there and then they kicked me out. Thank you. They needed that table for someone else, so I'm live right now. Yeah. 1 second, Faraz, and all the viewers out there.
Sure.
Um, so if you, Faraz, if you were to put yourself into the mind and heart of the viewers out there right now, if anyone out there that's inspired and like, hey, you know what? It's my time. I feel the resonance. I feel the fit. What what do you see that they might do to talk themselves out of it? What considerations or voices in their head or counter commitments might come up that would block them from taking action and making, whether they join the wolf pack or they just joined a different group or they applied the principles to really take it on and apply it so that they didn't just get some information, they actually got all the other factors required, since information
Mm.
alone doesn't equal transformation. What do you
Right.
think would stop them from applying what we talked about today
Yeah, I think a lot of men
in their
hide
head? Like,
behind their totally. I think a lot of men hide behind their busy schedule. Oh, I got a family, I got kids, I got a wife, I got a job, I got a corporate job, or I'm busy, I can't do this, I don't have time to jump on a call on a weekly basis. That's one thing that comes to mind for a lot of men, especially. Two, I think men have egos as well. We're like, oh, I'm good, I don't need this self-help stuff, I'm doing great. And especially if they're doing good with making money, then it's even more so, their ego is more amplified. It's like, I don't need this at all because I'm doing great in life. So that's what has come up for me in the
yeah,
past as well. um, and then the third might be, I don't want to spend money on improving myself. Like, what is the commitment here? What do I need to pay? I think this is worth so much more than what you pay, because the value you get out of this is what you put into it. And so those are some of the things that come up to mind. And then the other one is judgment. Is what are other people going to think if I tell them I joined a group and I'm jumping in these calls and I'm doing self help and self improvement. That comes up as well. Judgment from your wife, judgment from your family, judgment from relatives, or even other male friends who might. That's how males interact with each other. We make fun of other males. So that's some other aspect that might come up for other men as well.
beautiful. Sorry for the internet connectivity issues. I was
It's all
gonna do
good.
this from my office at home, and my internet went down. I've got a technician on the way, and so I came down to a restaurant that they said had the best Wi-Fi, but this is what we got.
Pura vida.
Um, Pura vida. So what would you say to those guys? So the guy that's like on the fence, he's considering it, but he's got those considerations or others. What would you say?
I would say just take action, just jump in, just go for it. Just trust that this is going to be an exemplary program for you. This is going to move you forward so rapidly. I can't even imagine doing this by myself, reading books or trying to implement. Even when I do read books, it takes me so long to implement it. but to get that constant feedback, it's so crucial.
Mhm.
And anytime I have problems in the week, I come on the call and I ask my questions and I get resources immediately. And I love that it's weekly and it's not every 2 or 4 weeks. And so what I would say is, if you want to get to the next level in life, then Chris has been there. I'm telling you. The other men in this group are amazing as well, but Chris has been there, been doing this for 20 years, and having a coach, a guide, and a group of men that are all on the same path makes such a huge difference, because you're motivated, you're accountable, and you're actually going to do the work, as opposed to saying you'll do it and then never doing it. That was me for the last 20 years. I've been to many, many conferences. I've paid thousands of dollars for 3-day events, and then
Tens
in
of
two
thousands,
months,
probably 100,000.
yeah, probably 100,000 in all. And when I think about what are the practices that I'm following that cement that into my life, I'm not, because there is no accountability. And so this is so much easier. It costs way less. And we have Chris to rely on, which he's unbelievable, guys. So I would jump on this opportunity with both feet and really take advantage of what this group has to offer, because this will change your life.
Thank you so much, brother. So, those of you watching to the end here, thank you for being here. Faraz, thank you for. Oh, real quick, Faraz, did I pay you anything? Is there any self
No,
interest in
no,
you saying all
no.
this nice shit about me and my group?
The self-interest is in me up leveling my life. That's all I want. Chris didn't pay me anything. And I am super happy to be part of the group. And I'm super happy to be making such a rapid progress in my own personal development and my own personal journey. And that by itself is more than enough to say all of these kind words, because all of this is true. I'm not making anything up.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So, those of you watching, men or women, if you have thinning hair like I do, Faraz is helping me out. It's actually growing in quite a bit since I purchased Faraz's. It's the most extensive, holistic, healthy. It's like a lot of people be like, "Oh, put this cream on or take this vitamin." And he's like, "Here, let's approach it from every single angle, because it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this." And let me give you a fast, easy, simple solution that only takes a couple minutes a day. It's super easy to do, friendly, all natural, healthy. Like I couldn't have, because I'm an extremist. When I design something, I'm like, how do you make it the best that it could possibly be from every fucking angle?
Right.
And so when I saw Faraz, I'm like, that good. I don't have to do it myself. Someone went for a long time, did a lot of research, found all the angles to create a whole uh, bundle that solves all the different layers that it could be. And so it's way better than the hair transplants and all the side effects and issues that can come with that. It's way better than all the guys that try to approach it from one angle. Best by far out there. And so love that you're doing that, Faraz. It sucked for me to be like, shit, I felt sexy and now I don't feel so sexy. And obviously you go through the self-acceptance of however you look, and maybe when I'm old I still end up losing my hair, and I'll feel between now and then figure out how to feel sexy then. But in the meantime, it's nice to know that I can keep my hair around maybe for the rest of my life and get it back. So love what you've done, what you're up to. Thank you for doing that, guys. If anyone watching, if women, men, if you want to keep your hair, you want your hair back, reach out to Faraz. He's on Facebook, or hit me up. I'll get you connected with him. And any of you that are interested in surrounding yourself with the best men in the world, getting the just all the tools, the processes, the everything that you need to succeed in the fastest, easiest, most enjoyable and aligned way, hit me up and we'll help in any way we can, including I'm not just here to sell shit. So for those of you who maybe decide, you reach out and you decide you don't want to work with me, I'm not the type of guy that's like, pay me or screw you. I'm the type of guy that's like, cool, here's a book, here's a resource, I recommend that other guy over there or that other program. So I'm here to help you find the best path for you, not to just sell you my shit and take my path. If I'm the best for you, let's roll. If not, cool, let me do what I can to propel you on your way either way. So thank you, Faraz. Thank you, audience. Have an
Thank you,
amazing
Chris.
day.
Appreciate your time.
Likewise.